Ciaran, the return of hurling inter-county senior championship this weekend. Something that we were kind of wondering, were we or were we not going to have all summer, but we have it now on the back of the club championships, and it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, without a doubt, and I suppose there was not a lot of speculations. You rightly pointed out, was it going to go ahead or wasn't it going to go ahead? And I suppose, you know, that's a separate conversation, if you like, because of the coronavirus, but now it's kind of at our doorstep. And I suppose leading into Sunday's quarter-final, and I know it's a double bill, meaning a league final, a quarter-final, and Munster Championship, it's kind of extremely low-key. And, you know, meeting some people out there, you'd be kind of thinking, is there a game coming up? So, but it's at our doorstep, so I'd imagine the closer we get to it, you know, the expectations of the Clare and Limerick rivalry, you know, is going to build up also.
I suppose tell us a bit about that rivalry. I suppose nobody better placed really to describe what it meant in the 90s, and it's carried on through as well. It's intense.
Yeah, without a doubt, and I suppose there's a lot of ingredients there that makes it the derby game that it is, really. And, you know, you could start just over the bridge, number one. You have a lot of guys come in from Clare that would go to college with a lot of the Limerick players as well, number two. I suppose down through the years, Clare would have done nice with the socialising in the big smoke in Limerick City as well. And I suppose, yeah, playing at club level as well. You know, when you add all that spice to the closeness of Limerick and Clare, and, you know, it certainly, you know, down through the years, it always was a match that you look forward to, and it was type of a game, you know, that you'd really get up for. So it was a match that was really kind of, as they say in the soccer terms, it was the real derby game. Really, was Limerick and Clare.
What was your stand-up memory, I suppose, of your games with them?
I suppose getting caught in 1993 in the first round down in Ennis. Really, when I think back at that one, you know, it was a game that we weren't fully mentally ready for. We shouldn't allow ourselves to get caught that particular time. And it also was the end of an era for Phil Bennis as manager at the time. So, you know, that, you know, but I think anytime we've crossed swords with Clare down through the years, numerically, we would have always come out on top. There was a few exceptional games there in the 90s, the mid-90s, 94, 95, 96, and even after that. But I think Limerick would have always come out the better at the end of the final, whistle. So there is a few memories, but you know, hard to pick one really.
This weekend, Ciaran, nobody's really paid attention to the fact that it's a league final. I think that's just merely a thing to get to at least tick the box that the league has been completed this year. I don't think anybody is bothered about picking up a league trophy at the weekend, but the crucial thing is advancing to the next round, a semi-final against Tipperary. Very hard to gauge from the club season, you know. Clare's club championship, Limerick's club championship. You know, the club championship in Limerick didn't really sparkle or it didn't really take off this year, really, did it?
No, and you could. The only thing you could say about club championship really in most provinces this year, in the middle of the coronavirus, I suppose it allowed all players to get a bit of hurling time and a bit of game time in, and it certainly wouldn't be a barometer for this Sunday. And to be fair, both teams are coming into Sunday to Thurles with no barometer really, no form, no bit of consistency because they haven't been together. And, you know, even the league campaign thus far wouldn't be much of a barometer either. So because, you know, the whole prep has changed, even travelling to the game this Sunday, you know, players, I believe Limerick are probably travelling down individually on their own. Even that in itself will probably make a bit of difference on some people, how they manage that going down on their own, because they're old. I suppose they would be used to going down and probably pods of 3 and 4 in cars, might have a bit of crack, they're playing a bit of music. Now all of a sudden they're in the car on their own, driving from Limerick to Thurles. How are they going to mentally and emotionally manage at that stage before any ball is turned up? So there's a lot of factors there, and I suppose the team on the day really that manages all of that, you know, will have the greater chance of going out expressing themselves or fulfilling their potential as an individual and as a team. So there's a lot of questions up there because it's different times, strange times, and you know, there's not going to be anyone at it. And so, even watching the Premiership soccer, it doesn't appear to be the same. Watching Liverpool play or Manchester United or Chelsea or Everton or any of those teams, watching them on Sky Sports and the Premier League every Sunday, it's a totally different ballgame.
Ciarán, look, we know that Clare are missing a few. Limerick, I suppose, will be without Richie English and without Mike Casey. What do you think Limerick will do to rejig that full back line?
Yeah, I could see Barry Nash going cornerback, Sean Finn slipping over, and Aaron Costello. I'd say that probably will be your full back line. Yeah, Mike Casey very unlucky with the injury to Crucius. Nobody would like to see any player get injured, but the Crucius injury, it's a very long time, and it takes an awful lot of discipline and personal responsibility to do your rehab right and to get back as quick as you can. And they're giving it a time of 8 to 9 months. And Sean Finn will slip right in there. I think he'll do a job at his ease. He's comfortable enough a cornerback or fullback. Barry Nash, to be fair, has hurled well during the league. Since I moved him into defence, he seems to be comfortable any place. And Aaron Costas probably has done enough to hold on to his position. And I'd say that will be the full back line. But they'll probably will have their hands full in the Clare full forward line with Shane O'Donnell, Aaron Shanahan, and the other guy is not coming to my head this minute. I think it's Ronan or David Ryan. Clare's inside line aren't bad either, so we need to be on top of our health in our full back line.
Ciarán, where do you think the winning and the losing of the game on Sunday?
As you rightly pointed out, Limerick are down without Michael Casey. Richard English is still in his rehab. He's on his way back. But Clare are down more bodies than Limerick. I believe Conor Ryan did his cruciate. Peter Duggan, another big loss. I just think Limerick are more seasoned. I think they'll probably will adapt more to the new system. They'll probably adapt more to Thurles with no one there. And I just think they're a lot more powerful than Clare. And I have a question mark in Clare's defence. Are they good enough to hold the likes of Hegarty, Kyle Hayes and Tom Morrissey and a half forward line? Your full forward line, Aaron Graham Mulcahy and Aaron Flanagan and Graham Mulcahy. They're 6 forwards. It's going to test any 6 backs out of any county, mix them to hold those guys. So I believe we've too much firepower up front, really, Raphael.
Yeah, Ciarán, I suppose the decision during the week to pull the minor and under 20 championships, Ciarán, a bit of a head scratcher insofar as that these championships had already been started. They were you'd have a good lot of the teams eliminated in the next kind of week to 10 days between midweek games and everything. Should it have been something that they could have just let finish out?
Yeah, I suppose, listen, you have advantages and disadvantages at both sides. And even at that, there's an awful lot of people still questioning why the senior championship is even going ahead as well. It doesn't fall into the bracket of elite sport. It doesn't fall into the bracket of essentials. And, I suppose my own personal view is, we're in nearly the middle of October now. Christmas is just around the corner. So usually this time of the year, all hurling and championship is as good as done and over. And I suppose from the GAA point of view, trying to fit in everything in a block window of 2 months probably is asking a bit much. But I suppose what's more important really is the coronavirus, the COVID-19 out there, the welfare and safety of all players. And I think it was a prudent, clever move to pull it really. Because as I said, there's still an awful lot of debate out there whether senior intercounty football and senior intercounty hurling still should be at play. So I don't want to go down that road because that's a conversation in itself. So I think it possibly was the right and clever thing to do was to pull the 20s and the minor.
Ciarán, the other championship game this weekend, obviously a lot of the teams will be waiting due to the format. Where it's kind of like we've gone back to 2017 with regards to the format, and the only other championship knockout game in hurling this weekend is the Leinster quarter-final between Dublin and Laois. How do you see this one going, Ciarán?
Yeah, you'd have to favour Dublin. Although Laois, to be fair, they made a great start this time last year and raised a few eyebrows, even in the games that they played against Tipperary. Just probably stayed with him for the first half and the first 5 to 10 minutes, second half, then Tipperary pulled away. So I'd be fancying Dublin this weekend to jump that fence.
And of course, the reward for jumping that fence will be a game against Kilkenny on the weekend of the 31st, Saturday, 31st of October, where Galway will also play Wexford in the other Leinster semi-final on the same day. So I suppose next weekend, Ciarán, is really the one where it's going to hot up. Like, obviously, you have Limerick and Clare this weekend, but then you're into semi-final stages in Munster and in Leinster, Cork, Waterford, and Tip versus the winners of Limerick and Clare. So you have it might be a short, truncated championship, but you have some huge games on the horizon.
Yeah, without a doubt. And even this time last year, the championship games were coming quick and fast, and they were coming week after week, and every week, and if it wasn't every week, it was every second week. And, it was keeping everybody on their toes, and anybody who was following the game, they were no sooner getting over the game last Sunday than they were getting ready for the game next Sunday. And to be fair, from a player's point of view, when you're involved with inter-county hurling at that level, all you want to do really is get out and perform. So, the real thoroughbreds are going to kind of show themselves this year because the games are coming fast and thick. So it's going to add to the championship, and the more games you have, the possibility of greater games also are included in that.